What are your biggest concerns regarding the new changes in the administration?
My biggest concerns are that we're kind of setting a precedent that the new system takes place over experience and, I don't know, just passion.
Well, I think the biggest change, as I said, was how it's going to affect the teaching learning process. We have a system that seems to support teachers when we need information or when we need things to present to students or anything that has to do with the classes that we teach, and we're just concerned about how it's going to work if we don't have that level of supervisor who knows the content, and we go to a system where you have 4 vice principals who might not have the same expertise.
When did you hear about these changes?
I heard about the changes in March, I believe it was.
Did you hear from someone else, or was it like an official email that was sent out?
I'm the president of the Madison Education Association that represents the teachers, and the superintendent, whoever it is, obviously Mr. Schwartz now, he went over the presentation that he was going to make to the teachers. I mean, really just an hour before, so it wasn't that I knew, weeks before.
How do you think the teachers were treated in this process?
Well, I mean, it's mostly the supervisor. Any teachers who have not been renewed or have been let go are not necessarily a result of these changes. And our concern is, obviously, we have people in these positions who have done an effective job. I don't know that any teachers themselves have specifically been impacted, their jobs have been impacted.
It seemed a little top-down, so it seemed like the administrative body made their decision well before consulting the teachers. It seems that teacher input wasn't really gauged prior to this decision.
Rephrasing that, how do you think the supervisors were treated?
It's never nice when somebody comes and meets with you and says, we're getting rid of your job. Right. It happens, and as far as I know, and of course I'm only acting on the information that I have, they weren't told, so I imagine that it was in some cases quite jarring.
Do you think the system will work?
That's the million-dollar question here. I imagine that it can. The other concern that we have is that we still have questions about how it's supposed to work. Okay, how is this going to work? You're getting rid of one structure and now you're starting another one, which is a management prerogative no matter where you are. So perhaps in the month that we have between now and the end of the school year, we'll get some of that, and certainly we'll be looking for it over the summer.
I mean, I don't really see why it wouldn't. It seems like the examples that were cited worked. Whether or not it'll be more effective than the system we currently have in place, or whether it'll be effective enough to warrant the shuffle that's occurring, that's another question entirely.